Before 1956, there was only TV shows and novels to express the ideas of AI. In fact, the first idea was expressed in ancient Rome. The first AI program was created in 1956. Historically, the debate about AI has centered around one, AI will take over jobs and enslave the human race, and two, AI can be a useful tool among society. This documentary will reveal research about the history of AI robots, and AI in pop culture. AI is extremely useful to us because not only does it improve on itself and it is self-sufficient, but it can also do repetitive tasks effectively. AI will be the future from everywhere between factories, jobs, and household appliances.
Way over yonder in the Middle East, they sure got a big dog, it's quite the beast. Nowhere to hide and nowhere to run. When he blows you, the kingdom come. Let the big dog eat. Let the big dog eat.
What you see right now is the earliest edition of the robot dog, Spot. Developed by Boston Dynamics, located in Massachusetts, this is their earliest design, made in 2010.
But I know it's short. Call the ambulance and call the cops.
Today's Spot is well known and used by companies such as NASA, Ford, and Massachusetts State Police. All of these companies have invested in this robot. NASA is interested in using these robotic dogs to explore Mars and its many caves, and even find a location for their Mars colony that they plan to set up in the near future. Ford is using the robots to make layout plans for their building to better improve their production plants. The Massachusetts State Police is using them to investigate crime scenes. They're also using these dogs to explore Chernobyl due to the radiation being so high that people can't enter it, to properly assess the situation. On a side note, they're great dancers.
When I look into your eyes, all I see is you in my mind. 새로운 만남들은 나를 충전해. Double bump into something, new possibility. 어떤 날 발견할지 뜨근데.
This documentary will be explaining the contradicting and debating side of whether AI should be used in everyday household items. As we see from future sci-fi films, such as 1984, Terminator, I, Robot, and other well-known movies and books, people perceive AI in a very negative light. But how is AI actually used today?
As you see from the video, blue is specifically designed to be used as a household item, but how else can we use robotic arms?
In this paper, we study the ability of a robot to auto-generate its own self-model. We will show how a robot can model its entire forward kinematics without any prior knowledge or assumptions about physics, geometry, or motor dynamics. We conducted our experiments using a 4-degree of freedom articulated robotic arm. Initially, the robot moved randomly and collected approximately 1,000 trajectories, each comprising 100 points. The robot then used a deep sequence-to-sequence model to create a self-model consistent with the data that it had collected. Here, you can see some of the initial self-models overlaid on top of the real robot. Initially, the models were very inaccurate. The robot had no clue what it is or how its joints are connected. However, after approximately 34 core hours of training, the self-model became consistent with the physical robot to within about 4 centimeters. The self-model was good enough to allow the robot to use a simple internal planner to perform a pick-and-place task in closed loop with 100% success.
Next, you'll see the Tesla robot and how it can be used. Tesla states that their robots will be able to do boring, dangerous, and repetitive work. Tesla believes that they can produce this robot within the next year, and that it will be able to minimize dangerous and boring tasks that humans regularly participate in. Some of the tasks are grocery shopping, taxes, construction jobs, and more. Another example of AI is called Generative Adversarial Network. Generative Adversarial Network, or GAN for short, is a great example of AI. GAN can generate new information without an outside source. By pitting two AI networks against each other, it produces better and better images until it is hard for even humans to discern. These photos you are seeing are not actual people. They have been generated by GAN. These are the only photos of these people that will ever exist. This system can be used with any data too.
Even though people may think AI is a new technology, it's actually been talked about since 1955, when it was coined by a British logician and computer pioneer, Alan Matherson Turing. Just 1 year later, Alan developed the first AI system. In the same year, an American author, Samuel, created an AI checkers game that had an AI system that would play checkers with the user. Ever since then, philosophers, computer programmers alike have been fantasized with the possibilities that computers could have the same thinking capability as humans.
Here are some clips from Carnegie Mellon and MIT from 1980 to 1995, developing one-legged, two-legged, and four-legged robots. In this video, Atlas, the humanoid robot, demonstrates its whole body athletics, maintaining its balance through a variety of rapidly changing, high-energy activities. Through jumps, balance beams, and vaults, Boston Dynamics demonstrates Atlas to its limits in mobility, perception, and athletic intelligence. As you can see from the evidence given, AI is an extremely historical, futuristic, and pop culture-filled subject that will greatly affect the future and is a large chunk of the past. With millions of possibilities, AI will improve and maximize robotics and benefit the future of society and the world.